Okay, picture this. It's 2011. I'm 21 years old. I've got a camera satchel and a tripod in my hands. I'm standing alone in the sun, surrounded by dry rice fields, covered in dust from an hour-long motorcycle ride, and in the distance, I'm looking into a mud hut village in Haiti. I felt like Indiana Jones on a quest. Oh gosh, man, I'm just being so American. So I pull out my flip phone and I dial the pastor who lives there so I can get the name of the most powerful witch doctor that lived in that village. Now the pastor was not currently in the village, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to get the honest truth of what this witch doctor actually does. So I got the name, Franskel. I then made a silent prayer to God to please keep my Christianity from being a barrier to this guy sharing. Then I walk up to the hut. There were 4 strong young guys sitting around outside smoking and gambling. I asked for Franskel, and out came this man with a big smile on his face. The interview gets started, and a little while into it he tells me that even as he saw me coming, his spirit already sensed what I needed, and he was happy to share it with me. This interview was for the first documentary I ever made, and although it was horribly done, it exposed a lot of things that even my fellow Haitians said that they were shocked to discover. If you do want to see it, you can watch it here. One of my regrets is that during the entire interview, I never angled the camera to show that his 4 intern henchmen guys were sitting right towards his left. In this interview, Franskel told me that voodoo is a lot like Christianity, whereas we believe in just one of the spirits, Jesus, and we go by his power. He believes that there are many spirits out there and there are many powers to choose from. So I asked Franskel, how do you help people? He said if somebody is eating your child, he can help you with that. He does not actually mean eating your child. This is why people like to say that Haitian Creole is easy to learn but hard to understand. What he means is that a curse has been put to eat away on the child's spirit, creating erratic mood swings and depression, stuff like that. One example is a ceremony where they bind the victim's spirit to a rope, and then a knot is made on that rope to bind the person's willpower. Then this rope is buried somewhere so that they're permanently trapped. But really, how are you ever going to know that you were cursed or that you just ate some bad chicken that day? Franskel also summoned spirits to counsel people on what products would sell in the village. Another witch doctor in the village told me that by the time people got home from their business, they would find that the money was no longer in their pocket. The assumption is that a spirit stole it. If people don't first get blessing from his spirits, they could lose business. Then I asked, what are some of the remedies that you offer? He listed several crazy ones, but the most interesting one was Call and He Comes. Really, that's the name of it. Call and He Comes. What it does, he says, is that whoever ingests it becomes submissive. So whatever you ask this person to do, they'll just do it for you. If you're wondering about these remedies possibly being drugs, you're right. It's normal for witch doctors to grow marijuana out in these rice fields. And during the ceremonies, they do like to burn incense to call the spirits. How else might they be seeing the spirits? Then I asked him, well, what if someone wronged me? What can you do for me? This is what he said, with subtitles.
Selon la faveur, ils font bagay ou vin kote. C'est pas moi tuer là, c'est tirer lui. Elle vin kote, et selon ça le font là, yon met, non carré les mettre là, l'aimerait les mettre là. Ou mettre quoi boîte, mettre là ouais comme lui. Il dit ma voiture maintenant sous 3 jours. Ils sont voiture long jour. Et puis, selon Kobou bay quel content tout. Il doit de inédit. Mais selon mon canton tout. Faut mourir parce que où est pays a faut la mort.
He can blame the spirits if something doesn't work, but witch doctors have a reputation to uphold if they want to stay in business. What do these 4 guys do? They are given cigarettes, drinks, and most likely during the ceremonies, drugs. I mean, I know a guy with a slight limp because somebody had planted poisonous powder on his front gate one morning. I don't know who said it first, but I've heard that voodoo is one of the most destructive religions in the world because it breaks down trust and relationship. I talked previously about accountability and how where it doesn't exist, culture fails to develop virtues. In my opinion, Haitian voodoo destroys accountability because every problem and resolution is blamed on a faceless spirit. During the Dark Ages, Christianity had a similar experience, but the difference is that politicians were trying to keep Christians ignorant of the Bible, whereas the very nature and core beliefs of voodoo is that morality is based on whatever you choose. The nation of Haiti was founded on two things: slavery and voodoo. Slavery robbed Haiti of its culture, and voodoo has been keeping them from developing it any further. When people say that voodoo is important to Haitian culture, to me it's like saying that alcoholism is important to the Irish. But alcoholics are known for beating their wives to death. One day, this woman who comes to clean my parents' house didn't come because her family thought she had a spirit, and voodoo required she submerge in almost boiling water. She survived because her family wasn't strong enough to submerge her body entirely into the tub. That documentary was the first time I understood why Haitians are some of the happiest and most hardworking people, and yet all they're known for is their witchcraft. Without voodoo and witch doctors guiding them, Haitians would have a lot to say. And this station, only 1 hour away from where this happens, was flooded with phone calls from people who had one thing to say: I didn't know that we had brothers and sisters that lived so poor. I thought this stuff only happened in Africa. And ever since then, I've asked myself, why did it have to be this foreigner with terrible documentary skills and this Indiana Jones-sized ego to be the one that reveals it to them? And I realize how much Haiti has been robbed of a voice of its own, from slavery and from voodoo, and I am the least qualified to empower them to speak, given that I am a white Christian. It was one of the first steps I ever made to saying I need to stop doing stuff on my own, and it took several years of me changing some things inside me before I found out I am the most qualified. Because right now the ball is in our court, us Americans, and we're not giving it to them. And part of my job is to take that ball and give it back. Please, aimez, commentez et subscribe.